Baker's Dozen once again, and we're using this weird beach deck again. I don't know why, I just like this deck. It honestly feels kind of good to use. Anyways, this was requested by Navia Lover Jess. Thank you so much for requesting this. I love Baker's Dozen, and I love any excuse I get to play it. And I think I say this a lot, but I'm really always curious to hear what people think. So if you have any games that you'd like to see me play, either games that I've already played on the channel that you'd like me to revisit, or Solitaire games that I have not yet played on the channel, either way, leave a comment either on my video or on my page, and I'll see if I can get around to doing it. I would say most games I'm willing to play. There might be a few that I wouldn't want to play just because I really don't like them, but pretty much any request I'm willing to do because I love Solitaire and I love any excuse I get to play basically any game. Alright, so let's not beat around the bush and get into the first deal. So I will briefly go over the rules of Baker's Dozen, but if you want the full explanation, I will link my first video on the game in the description where I go over the rules in more detail, but I will explain everything you need to know in this video as well, just kind of quicker. So the game is dealt on a 13 by 4 tableau, so 13 piles of 4 cards each. We do this by putting 7 on the first row and 6 on the second row, but you can just do 13 in one row if you want, if you have that kind of space. I prefer to do it like this because it's a little bit easier to make room for it. My playing area does not have enough room for 13 piles unless I'm using a mini deck, so I prefer to do it like this, but it's up to you. The goal of the game is to move all cards to the foundation piles. The foundation piles will be over here on the right side, and they build from ace to king in suit. So they start with an ace and go up to king, all in the same suit. The tableau is stacked in descending sequence regardless of suit. So any 2 can be placed on any 3, any jack can be placed on any queen. If you empty out a pile by moving all the cards, no cards may be placed in the empty space, and we can only move 1 card at a time, no stack moves. And besides that, that's pretty much all the rules of the game. It's a very simple game. Before we start playing, we do have to take the kings and move them to the bottom of their piles, and then after that we will be ready to play our first deal of Baker's Dozen for the night. Oh, I missed this one. I'm so bad at doing this, like replacing them back onto the tableau after I take them out. I don't know why, it's just really difficult for me for some reason. It's nice to be doing a normal video. After the flower garden video, man, that was a lot of work. Alright, I think we're ready to start, so let's start by taking the Ace of Hearts and moving it to the foundation. We can move the 2 as well. Now we've got the Ace of Spades here. I think we're going to take the 3 of Diamonds and move it to the 4 of Diamonds. That lets us take our Ace of Spades. Now, let's see. Our other aces are here and here. So this one's behind a 5, 7, and 9. This one's behind a 4 and a jack. So let's see how we want to do this. Now we could obviously just move this 5 to the 6 or to this 6, but ooh, I actually see what I want to do, I think. So I think I'm going to move this 6 to this 7 here, and then I'm going to move the 5 to that, and then I'm going to move the 4 to the 5. So now we just have to get rid of this 7 and 9 and this jack. Now we could just move the jack to the queen, but we're going to be piling on the 3 of clubs if we do that. I want to see if we have an alternative option. And I think we actually do. Let's move this 3 to here. We'll move this 3 to the 4, and then we'll move this 4 to the 5. this is a much less difficult pile to undo later because we've only got 2 cards in it and they're both high cards. Way better than stacking the jack on that pile with the 3 of clubs in it. That should be a lot easier to undo later. So we can take the 2 of clubs now. And now we need to do something about this 7 and 9. Okay, first I think I want to do this. I'm going to move this 7 to this 8. Move this 2 of diamonds, and then I'm going to move the 7 back. Now I'm going to move this 6 to that 7. And I'm going to move this 7 to this 8. And then we're going to be burying these even deeper, but I think the 4 of hearts is more important, so I'm going to move that 10 to there, and I'm going to move the 9 of spades onto it. Now we take our last ace. Let's take this 2. And since we have all the aces, we can take the 3s. Now we still need this 2 of spades. I think before it gets out of hand, I think I want to get this 3 of clubs out of the way, so I'm going to move. Yeah, let's do that. We'll move this 9 to the 10. Now this 10 has to go to a jack. We'll do this. I'm going to be burying the 2 of spades. I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, we can do this jack. Just move the 4 to the foundation. Then move this 10 to the jack. No. Move this jack to the queen first, then move the 10 to the jack, and now take our 3 of clubs. Now let's do this. Move this 9 to here, move the 8 onto the 9. This queen can go to the king. Good thing we moved that other queen first. Now we can take the 2 of spades and the 3 of spades, and since we've got all the 4s, we can actually go up to 5 safely. So let's do that. We can take this 6. Actually, let's just move the safest thing. Oh my god, my cards. Okay, I accidentally sent all my cards flying. I hope I put them back in the right order. Anyways, I moved the 6 over to here to reveal the 5. We can take the 4, the 5, and where is the 5 of clubs? It's right there. So let's just take this 6. Now we can take the 5 and the 6. And now I think we have won the game, so we'll just stack everything up. There shouldn't be any more knots. There's this 7 of diamonds behind the 10, but that shouldn't really be a problem because I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to stack up to one of these jacks. In fact, we can just do this one right here. Take the 6 and 7 of hearts, and then we'll take the 8 and 9 of hearts. No, just the 8, sorry. Just the 8 of hearts. Leave the 9 so we can move that there, and then move the 10, and now we get the 7, 8, and 9 of diamonds. Alright, now we just stack the rest of it up. Easy. That was a pretty good first game. It seemed kind of easy. There weren't a lot. Oh wait, I didn't realize we still had this whole issue here. Okay, but I don't think it's going to be very difficult to work out. Yeah, we already solved everything, so the few remaining knots were not really that difficult to untangle. So yeah, that first game seemed a little bit easy. That's the nature of Solitaire. Sometimes you get easy shuffles. Sometimes you get hard shuffles. Sometimes you get impossible shuffles. We get everything here. Okay, so I practiced this little fan out thing since the flower garden video. I think I'm better at it now. Let's see. Okay, that was not bad. I'm no professional card handler, but at least I know the basics now. So you can see, I hope these are all in frame. I'm just going to do this to show that we have all the cards in order from now on, instead of doing it the way I was doing before, where I kind of flipped through it manually. That way seems a little smoother. But yeah, I am no Vegas dealer, as you can see by my terrible shuffling. I actually didn't use playing cards much in real life until I started playing Solitaire. I don't play poker or anything like that, really. My grandma used to play canasta, but I never played myself. She tried to teach me to play rummy when I was really young, but I didn't really get it. And after that, I never really played any card games until I started to get into Solitaire. Alright, let's deal game number 2. Looks like we got an easy start here. We got 2 aces right off the bat. Let's see what else we have going. Our other ace is right here. It's behind a queen. That's a little tricky. This ace is behind 2 queens and a jack. Oh, that's just brutal. Oh, wait, I forgot to move the kings to the bottom. So the reason why queens are so tricky to get rid of is because kings start at the bottom. That means if you want to move a king, you have to move an entire pile, or at least the top 3 cards of a pile, in order to get down to the king, so you can move the queen to it. We've got 2 queens on top of that ace, which means we have to clear out 2 piles before we can even start to stack up that foundation pile. That's brutal. Let's see if we can make it work though. So I'm going to move this 2 of clubs to the foundation first. So not only do we have this ace blocked by 2 queens, but this one's also blocked by a queen. We need to dig out 3 kings somehow. One of these kings is behind a jack, so we're going to have to dig out this queen as well. Although we also need a queen to move this jack so we can move the queen. Is this game even possible? Okay, let me try doing this. Okay. There is 1 king open, and we can take this and move it. Now it's tempting to just move this queen, but I think the first thing I'm going to do is use that queen to transfer this jack so that we can move one of these queens. So I think we're not going to be able to get that ace for some time. Now we need to dig out another one of the kings. This one's got a lot of low cards. Maybe we can do that one. Which ace is that? It's diamonds. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to move this jack to here. Then I'm going to move this 4 and 3 here. And then this 4 here. And then we move this queen. And finally we get that ace. this one. Let's move this 6 to here so we can take this 2. And that also opens up this 10. So now we can move one of these 9s here, one of these 9s here, and we'll move the 8 here as well. That opens the king. Now we can move the queen to it and get the last ace. So we managed to get all the aces despite all the queens in our way. We have all the 2s now, so we can safely go up to 4. We need these 2 3s up here. Oh, one of them is the diamonds. That's tricky. Well, we might be able to make this work. Let's move this 4 here, and this 5 to the 6. Now this 6 can go to the 7, but I'm wondering if we want to move that first. I kind of want to move this 8 to here, and then this 7 off the jack, and then the 6 to the 7. Now we grab the 3 of spades and the 3 of hearts. We have all the 3s, which means we can stack up to 5 safely. Let's move this jack. Now we take the 4 of hearts and the 5 of clubs, the 4 of diamonds, and it actually looks like we kind of just unraveled this whole thing. It looked like a really hard shuffle, but I think we actually made it work. So we do have a few problems here. The first is this one right here, and the second is this one right here. And then we also have a problem here, but I think that one's going to be easier to figure out. So let's start by doing this. Take the 5, 6, and 7 of hearts. Now we have a few options for this 8, but I'm looking and we don't have any options for the 9, it seems. Unless we can stack something up to 10, but I don't think, because we need the 6. Oh, we might be blocked. After that start, that would be really sad. We've got 9s here that we need to move and no 10s. We can't stack up to the 2 9s because we've got an 8 here, an 8 here, and this 5 and 6 here. It's blocking us from stacking up any of our foundations. Yeah, I think we lost this one. That's unfortunate. That beginning was so tricky. I thought once we got past it we were gonna win, but I think some of the moves I made were a little sloppy. That's okay, you can't win them all. If you saw a sequence of moves I could have made that would have won that, let me know. I'm always looking for advice to improve my play and get better, so. So we'll shuffle up for game number 3. I really love this game because the rules are so simple, but it's really challenging and is winnable most of the time. Like, you saw how messed up that beginning was and we still almost won. Even when it seems really difficult, you can still win. It's kind of like a free cell in that way. Okay, we'll start our 3rd game now. see if I can move them down a little. It's going to be a problem when I have to start stacking stuff on those top piles. It makes me feel bad when I watch Great Apes videos because his card stacks are so clean and straight, and mine are so not very good. Okay, so we'll move the kings. Person who requested this game mentioned that they wanted to play Baker's Dozen but didn't have any playing cards, so they tried playing with Uno cards instead, and that honestly sounds really interesting to me, playing Solitaire with Uno cards. Maybe that's something I'll do for a fun video sometime. I honestly do have some ideas for playing Solitaire games with weird decks, so I might try it sometime, who knows. Let's see if we can get to these 3 aces here on the top. Okay, I think I actually want to start by doing this. Moving these cards over here so that I can make room on this king to put a queen. And now I can start moving some cards onto this 10 to make some room. That gets us one of our aces. We can move this jack onto the queen to get our other ace, and that reveals a 10 where we can put this 9 to get our last ace. That's nice, we got them all pretty quick. Let's move these 2s. And since we have all the 2s, that means 3s are safe. Or sorry, all the aces. The 2 of hearts is up here, so we're gonna have to find a way to get to that. I think I see one. Alright, we get our 2. Now having all the 2s means 4s are safe to take. So let's take our 4s. Oh wait, we don't have all our 3s yet. I still need the 3 of diamonds here and the 3 of hearts over here. Now, I think, honestly, I was thinking about moving this 5 off the king before we move the 4 to it, but yeah, let's do that actually. Let's move the 6 to here, then we'll move the 5 off the king to here. I just want that 5 off the king so that I can move this queen to the king when I need to. Now we move the 4 to the 5, and we can move the 7 to this 8 as well. That reveals the 3 of hearts. Now we need to get rid of this 6 and 5 to get the 3 of diamonds. The 4 of hearts is trapped down there too. Let's move this 7 here, and then this queen here, and then we'll move the jack to the queen so that we can get the 3 of clubs. I need to be able to move this queen as well. I didn't anticipate that, and that might actually cause a problem because we have this whole pile right here. There's no clubs in it. Maybe we can make it work. Okay, actually we do have something we can do. First of all, I missed this. We can just move this 10 to here and then move the queen to that. I was missing the very obvious move. Now let's move this 7 to here. This 9 off the 5, and we'll put the 8 on the 9. This jack can go to the queen. That reveals a 6 where we can put this 5. We can move this 6 to the 7. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that solves the game. So it should be easy going from here. So that's 3 games, 2 wins, 1 loss. Pretty good so far. I've actually been playing this game some more off camera, and my win rate in this game has actually been going way up. I think I said last time when I played this that my win rate was about 50-50. But in the more recent times that I've been playing it, I keep a spreadsheet to losses. And my win rate has been approaching 70% for this game now, which is a big improvement from before. So that's nice to see improvement. It's nice to have data that you can look at and look at the trend line and see the trend line going up over time. That's very satisfying to know that I'm actually getting better and winning more often than I used to. Alright. Let's do game number 4. By the way, I noticed when I'm editing back my videos sometimes that it looks like you can see something kind of fly in front of the screen. And at first I had no idea what that was, but then as I'm looking closer while I'm playing now, I started to realize that my room is actually pretty dusty. And that's actually just bits of dust floating by the camera. So my room isn't like full of bugs or something, which is what I at first thought. I was like, is my camera capturing bugs that I'm not seeing? But no, it's just small little bits of dust. I guess my room is dusty. Alright, let's play our next game. Let's try to keep these further apart this time. I was running out of space in that last game. I don't know if you can hear my cat. It's late at night. Nobody's up. And she's lonely. If she comes outside my door, I might let her in my room. Hopefully she won't disturb my recording. Alright, now we move the kings. Okay, let's begin game number 4. We can start by taking that ace and 2 of diamonds, which reveals the ace of spades. Then we can grab the 2 of spades. Now our other 2 aces are here and here. One of them's behind a queen, so we'll have to dig out a king. We've got 2 9s here, but both of them are blocking 2s. I wonder if we can maybe move one of those 9s somewhere before we put the 8 on top of them. I think I'm actually going to move the 6 of spades here, then move this. Do we want to do the 1? Let's do this one. And then we can move the 8 and take the ace of spades. Sorry, the ace of clubs. Now we need to move this jack so we can get to the queen. I'm actually going to So we're gonna have to dig out another king to get that. But honestly, this one looks pretty easy to get out. We move this 9. 2 of hearts goes to the foundation, then 8 goes to the 9. We can actually just move this 4 and 5 to the foundation, and then move the queen to the king. That gets us our 2, 3, and 4 of clubs. Let's move this 4 to the 5 here just to get it off the 3, which we can then take, and then go back and take the 4 as well. Let's move this 7 and 6. And to be honest, this one is looking pretty done, although I have said that once and then lost, so we can move this 8 up here to make room for the 9 to go here, to unblock that 5 of spades. We need to get this 5 of hearts. It's in kind of an awkward spot, but we can actually just move the 5 to the foundation, move the 6 and 7 of spades to the foundation. This 8 can go here, and that reveals our 5. Now I think the only awkward thing left is this 6 of clubs, but we should be able to get to it with ease. Oh, we do also have these 7s over here. We can take the 6 and 7 to the foundation, and we can take these 6 and 7s as well. And now it looks like we have won. So now we just stack everything up. So 3 and 4 so far. We're doing great. These wins are also going really fast. I think we're probably going to do 5 games tonight, which is unusual. I don't think I've ever done 5 games. Actually, we might have done 5 games of Prison, now that I'm thinking about it. And we definitely did more than 5 games of Stonewall. I'm honestly kind of embarrassed at my reaction when I won Stonewall. I got so excited. When I was watching it back, I honestly felt a little embarrassed. I hope it was funny at least. Alright, let's do one more game. Sorry, I don't have anything really to say for this last shuffle, so you can just enjoy the shuffling sounds. Okay. Let's deal game number 5. Can we get a 4 out of 5 record? That would be pretty nice. I'm thinking about doing some no talking gameplay only videos. I think that would be interesting. I got kind of inspired by it by the videos from Mikasa Audio House. They do these blackjack videos where they do no talking, and it's very fast paced, where they just kind of play the game quickly, you know, making all the right moves and stuff. And I think they're a really good ASMR watch. And I think doing something like that might be kind of cool. Of course, it wouldn't have 1/10 of the professionalism of their videos, but I do think some no talking videos might be relaxing, might be fun to try. honestly, I might do Klondike. I have not played Klondike on this channel yet, but I think that would be a good game for that format. Okay, so let's start our final game. We'll take the ace of diamonds and the two of diamonds. Now we've got this ace covered by a queen, and this ace, and this ace. So I'm actually going to move this 9 here, and then this 8 temporarily. I actually didn't think that out far enough. I wanted to do that to have a jack that I could use as a temporary space to move this 10, so I could move the 10 to the jack, and then the queen, and then I could move this jack, and then move the 10 back. But, I accidentally used the 10 to do that. So now I can't use that 10 to move the 9 anymore. I need to use a different 10. This one is covered by a 6 and we don't have any immediate 7s. Here there actually is something we can do. Move this 3 here first, then move this 2 to the 3. Now move this 4 to this 5, and this 2 can go over. Let's actually just do this. We'll free this king to put the queen there, instead of doing the thing I was thinking before. Now we can move a jack. Which one do we want to do? Honestly, we need to get this 10 and this 9 out of here at some point. We'll do that after I move the jack. So let's do this jack actually. We'll move this 9 and the 10. That leaves our kings open, so we can move this queen here. Oh, we can move this 2 of hearts to the ace. Now we need to get to our last 2 aces. We can do this, move the 8 and the 6 to get to the ace of spades. Now we still need to get to this ace. Let's move the 3 of diamonds to the foundation to open up that 4 here. And there's a 5 of hearts open up here that we can just move the 4 to. Now we've got all our aces. Let's take our 2s and our 3s. We can move this jack to reveal a 7, which we can move this 6 to. Then we move the 10 to the jack and take our 3 of hearts. We can also move the 4 of hearts safely. The 3 of spades is in a pretty tricky spot. Let's do this. 4, 5, and 6 of diamonds to the foundation. That reveals a 7. We can use that like that. Now we move this 4 to the 5, and this 5 down to this 6, and this 9 onto this 10. That reveals the queen, which we can move to this king we opened. And now we get the 3 of spades. Now we can stack up even more. What are our problem cards still? We've got this stack here, which is definitely a little weird. This one we can sort out. Actually, let's not move that jack yet, just in case we want to move this jack instead. Actually, we kind of have a problem here. We got stacked kings, which means we have nowhere for this queen. Now we might be able to stack diamonds all the way up to queen. In fact, I think we can do that. So let's do that. So we'll move this jack to here. Now let's see if we can do this. This is going to be a little tricky, I think. We take the 7 and 8. Where's the 5 of hearts? It's right here. So the 5 and the 6 of hearts. We can move this 6 of spades. Now we'll do 5, 6, 7, 8. We can take this 9, 7, and 8, and 9 of hearts. Now this 7 is what we need to get to. There's the 10, and we take the 10 of hearts and the jack of hearts, the jack of diamonds, and now we can take the queen of diamonds, and that, I think I just bumped the mic, sorry about that. Alright, so those games, besides the one that we lost, all went really, really smoothly. I'm actually really happy at it. It's actually insane because because I only played my first video of this game, I think only a couple weeks ago, and I feel like I've improved so much since then. I've been playing a lot of Solitaire, so I guess I'm just getting better with practice, which is nice. Hopefully that can continue. Alright, so that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Baker's Dozen.